House of Protection dropped their new EP, Outrun You All. This band has kind of popped up out of nowhere, and I'm
I was gonna
loving it.
say, where did you find them?
So
What's their deal? Why are they here?
where did I find them?
Hmm.
They've been popping up as some features on some things that I've been listening to, other things within the scene. Most notably, the Architects record, Brain Dead. They were on that,
True. Okay.
and I've just been hearing their name around, and thought that what they were doing was cool, and wanted
Hmm.
to
Keep it.
cover the EP, because I think I had heard Fire on Serious Octane at some point, and they're also they're the two members of Fever 333 when they're not in Fever 333 anymore,
The
but
ones that dipped.
they were the ones that left. They came together, they've made this project
Oh,
now. um
that's
so
okay. Because I was thinking of Fever 333 when I was
mhm,
listening to this EP, and I was like, it sounds like they're influenced by them. That's
they were
insane.
in
Because
there.
I read their bio. Because I was like, something here is so familiar but
Mhm,
new.
mhm. Yeah. So they
God, I love
they're
music. I
they're a
fucking love. Oh.
they're they have obviously the people in the band have been doing it a long time, but the project is new. And Yeah, this is my first time listening through like a full House of Protection thing. Like I said, I've heard Fire, and I really have dug the feature that they had on Brain Dead off the
Hmm.
Architects record, as well as just seeing their name about just in conversations, because what they're doing is super cool.
Hmm.
I really dig this, and that's it. Like, every single song on here is something a little bit different,
Yeah.
but it comes together and creates a super cohesive package. Dare I say, use the word dynamic. The EP is very dynamic,
Whoa.
but I do like that with an EP.
Hmm.
When we've talked about it on the podcast with other artists that have done EPs and interviews and things like that, where it's like the EP is a taster palette of like everything, and then when it's album time, you laser focus it, like you showcase all the things you could possibly do, and then maybe when it's album time, you laser in on whatever you think you're strongest at. So this EP kind of covers the gambit of a lot of different things. I'm a big fan of Fire. I think that's my favorite. That song is so strong.
Me
But
too.
I also really like I Need More Than This. It gives kind of Fire-esque vibes, with it being its own sound as well. But I also like Afterlife and Godspeed. I love the way it opens. I
Mhm.
think that it just comes in and kicks you in the teeth. I love Slide Away, which is a little bit on the slower side, and closes this EP off, because we don't always get that with EPs, where they're like a song to kind of tie it together, or bring it all the way in, and close it down like you would typically get with an album. And then I didn't even
Mhm.
shout out Phasing Out, which is super dope, coming off the back of the for me the peak of the EP, which is Fire, and beginning this kind of descent down.
Yeah.
It kind of feels like the EP is building into that big moment of Fire, and then goes down, and fades away with Slide Away. But I just think that it's super awesome. Like, that's where I'm at with this. There's so
Mhm.
many different sounds. It's so new and different and unique and
Mhm.
interesting. But it still falls under the umbrella of the alternative metal community, things like that. And it's super cool to see artists embracing this, and calling on this band to feature on things like that. And
Mhm.
I just think it's super dope. The other way I heard of them, because it's just coming up as I'm talking, they were on tour with Poppy. They opened the Poppy part of, I don't think they opened the whole thing, but the Poppy US tour, they did a bunch of dates of that.
Mhm.
So yeah, they've just been all over the place, and it's super cool to see, because it's so interesting, it's so new, it's not something that we hear every day, but they do it so fucking well.
Hell yeah. So I was actually gonna go the opposite. I'm noticing with kind of this new generation, I
Mhm.
guess, of metalcore is that everyone, general statement, obviously not fucking everyone, a lot of these newer bands are doing a mixture of metalcore with a lot with a heavy electronic focus,
Mhm.
and I'm really fucking digging it because it is two very different genres that line up so well. It makes so much sense. I mean, the super heavy beat drops, or the super like punchy, bright, like techno or, synths or anything like that. That's what I'm seeing, just like with a lot of metalcore albums and bands like the Acres record.
Mhm.
That album had a lot of those electronic, sometimes hyper pop, just moments. Same with the Wind Waker record, which, I mean, come on, everyone and their mother fucking knows I loved that record for those reasons. It's something new, it's bright, it's flashy, and it just makes sense. And it fucks live. It's just everything. It's like the perfect storm. It's incredible. So, especially with Fire, honestly, to me, it sounded eerily similar to Built to Bleed by Acres. I think how it starts is almost identical. If I'm being completely honest, it is very eerily similar. Not saying that one copied the other. I'm just saying that's what I heard. It's the new thing in metalcore, so obviously there's going to be a lot of overlap. And it's just a fucking badass way to start a song, so I'm not mad at it at all. You're
Yeah.
telling me I get two? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. If we're doing shit like that, dude, give me five more. I don't give a fuck. Um, so that's what I really like about this record is it is following the trend of metalcore, heavier elements mixed with electronic elements,
Mhm.
really like rave type shit. And I think it's awesome. I love that you mentioned Fire. It is the big track off the record. It is the big one for a reason. It is a killer song. I really liked Afterlife a lot, and I did like the other, the B side, which is, Fire, Phasing Out, and Slide Away. I think the record's phenomenal. This was a pleasant surprise. I obviously, in passing, now that you mention it, I have recognized their name. I've seen them before. Happy that it's the Fever 333 guys because I fucking love that band. So I'm happy to see that their brains are still in music.
Mhm.
So that is very exciting, and I'm so stoked to see what else they have going on because this is incredible. This is great. Big fan.
Yeah, I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of this band in the very near future. Just everywhere. I think they're going to be
Yeah,
everywhere.
I would be so okay with that.
Me too.
I'm so down. I'm so down.